Welcome to Satan is My Superhero.
In this episode, we look at Christian-designed and produced video games, and we ask the question, are they lame?
Do you want to play a Christian video game? I'd rather stick needles in the end of my dick. So that's a no?
If you have youngs in your house, then you already know all about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Or as us youngs refer to it, FNaF.
Us youngs.
So, are you ready to play Five Nights at Freddy's?
Hell yes, I can't wait. I've heard so much about this game, the kids these days rave about it.
With good reason. Prepare to have your mind blown. Okay, this controls the cameras, and you do this to open and close the doors.
Cool. And then what?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the game?
You keep the demon-possessed animatronics out of the office with the doors and cameras.
And, like, if they get in, I get murdered?
Oh, heavens no. No, you get a jump scare and then it's game over.
A jump scare is game over?
It's very scary.
And the graphics are awful too.
Of course they are. This game is the complete package.
The premise of the game is that you are a lone security guard watching over the abandoned Freddy Fazbear's pizzeria. You sit in the control room with multiple cameras, room lights, and electric doors, all to watch over the demon-possessed animatronic characters who have a habit of coming to life and jump-scaring you.
Woo! Ah!
I have soiled myself.
I know we're making fun of the stakes at Freddy's, but the game is set in a world of child murder and demonic possession, so it's actually pretty terrifying.
Well, we've got up at 3 a.m. and nothing happened. We stood in front of the mirror and said Bloody Mary 3 times, and nothing happened. I did wet myself a bit. Yeah, me too, but nothing actually happened. Agreed. So what next? Five Nights at Freddy's? Are you insane?
This game has had such an impact on children around the world that experts in the field have had to weigh in.
Yes, a game that punishes the player for mistakes with jump scares will be very traumatic for young children.
And some adults too, right?
Not that I've seen.
Yeah, and it happens to really cool guys, and it's totally not because they're whiny little piss babies who are over-mummied like their ex-wife claims.
Sure.
I'm glad you agree in your expert opinion. Unrelated, I'm going to need you to record a voicemail for my ex-wife.
Child and family therapist Jennifer Taylor said,
I would not allow my children at any age to play it.
She sounds fun.
Are you playing Five Nights at Freddy's again? I thought you hate that game. You said the graphics and gameplay were cheap and lame. And you said the low stakes of a jump scare were a major disincentive to joy.
Yeah, but Mom said she will never let me play this game, so...
Say no more. Totally understand.
The success of this franchise has evolved into novels, as well as all the usual cosplay, toys, merch, and even a Hollywood feature film starring Josh Hutcherson.
And here is where you will sit and observe the animatronic characters.
Okay, cool. And where's the best place for me to lure and kill 12-year-olds? Is there a central hub loaded with tempting supplies?
What?
My last gig was all about child murder.
Oh, well, I assure you, we're a wholesome, family-owned business here. Most of the child murder happens in the main restaurant.
Satan.
This game has also spawned an entire industry of fan art. There are so many fan songs that you can find top 40 lists dedicated solely to FNaF.
I survived 5 nights at Freddy's, and the guy from Hunger Games played me in the movie. Not the Hemsworth. Oh yeah, baby. Not the Hemsworth. Not the Hemsworth.
There are fan-made animated YouTube videos featuring the characters from the game in an ever-expanding universe of fanfiction.
I'm shipping Crying Child and William Afton.
You can't do that, they're father and son.
Don't tell me how to be a fan.
Five Nights at Freddy's itself is not particularly Christian. But creator Scott Cawthon had spent his whole career up until that point producing Christian video games and movies.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a thoughts and prayers.
Jesus, jockey.
I'm christening here.
I love the smell of holy water in the morning.
Crosses? We don't need no stinking crosses.
I feel the need for Christ. Get your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty atheist!
You're gonna need a bigger Bible.
Open the pod bay doors, please, Jesus.
Nobody puts Jesus in a corner.
I'll be back. One day. I promise, guys. I'll definitely be back. One day.
Apparently, an animatronic beaver in one of the Christian video games that Cawthon created was too scary for the critics. Cawthon went into a depression.
It's not easy having a good time. Even smiling makes my face ache.
We already did movie quotes.
Sorry, me and the cast just got in a rhythm.
Cawthon's health insurance was cancelled because he had suicidal thoughts.
Only in America.
Deny, defend against this motherfucker.
Scott has said that at this time in his life, he felt like
either God didn't exist or God hated me. And I didn't know which one was worse.
Really? He didn't know which was worse? Here's this audio artist's impression of living in a world with an omnipotent creator God that hates you. And here's the sound of your day without an omnipotent creator God that hates you.
Cawthon picked himself up and he regained his faith in the man upstairs. He took on board the criticism that his animatronic beaver was too scary, and he turned it to his advantage.
The good Lord helps those who help themselves, which is a polite way of saying there's no God.
Of course, with all the success, questions have been raised. ChristianToday.com asked,
Was the pull of the dollar-driving Scott's creation of Five Nights at Freddy's, or was it the desire to glorify God? Had he given up on God because God wasn't making him rich?
Which is a fair question, ChristianToday.com. We all know how adverse to making lots of money American Christians are.
Here at the Christian Research Center, we are finding out how much money it takes to force a camel through the eye of a needle. Pureed. That's less than ideal. Okay, let's try industrial dehydrator.
But the moment when Cawthon's beliefs really impacted his reputation came in 2019. It was revealed online through company records that Cawthon had been financially supporting Trump's Republican candidates.
Don't you just hate those mommy nepo baby New York real estate billionaires breaking the law and robbing you, the taxpayer, blind? Vote Donald Trump. He'll put a stop to smarmy nepo baby New York real estate billionaires breaking the law and robbing you, the taxpayer, blind.
I'm Donald Trump, and I endorse this message.
Every statement in this commercial was an alternative fact. Message written and paid for by some fascist shitbag. Spoken by somebody you don't want to fuck with. If you have any concerns or complaints regarding this campaign commercial, please do not hesitate to contact Yo Big Fat Mama Is a Bitch on 1-800 Yo Big Fat Mama Is a Bitch, or visit www.yobigfatmamaisabitch.com.fu.
In 2021, Cawthon said supporting Trump is
something that I won't apologize for.
I wonder if he still has no regrets.
I just wanted cheaper eggs. Is that too much to ask? Cheap eggs and no brown people.
Russian bots QAnon. That MAGA hat's wearing you. Culture was fake news. That MAGA hat's wearing you.
That really don't pay tax. That MAGA hat's wearing you. That MAGA hat's wearing you. That MAGA hat's wearing you.
The rich don't pay tax.
He also financially aided suspected Kremlin asset Tulsi Gabbard.
What a fuckwit.
Who, him or her?
Both? Does it matter? Is that what I wrote? I don't know.
Doesn't matter. You nailed it.
That was just my natural response.
That MAGA hat's wearing you.
Anyway, despite being all about horrific child murder and demonic possession, Five Nights at Freddy's is not trying to be a Christian video game.
I see what you did there.
Most of the criticism Cawthon and the game receive from both sides of the aisle is for his Christianity, and that seems misplaced.
But he did financially support Trump, so fuck him.
Fair enough. But while Five Nights at Freddy's might not be explicitly Christian, there are a few Christian game companies out there.
We want some of that Satan money too. I mean, we want to glorify our Lord with kick-ass boss fights.
The Reverend Ralph Bagley founded the Christian-themed game studio Enlightening Software. He told the New York Times,
"We're going to hold the Word of God up and illuminate the place. We're taking the land back from Satan."
I don't own any land. I'm a communist.
The company released a pretty successful Christian first-person shooter in 2000. But their 2001 release was a total flop. Enlightening Software have not held up the word of God and illuminated anything since.
My arm got tired.
Founder of the company Digital Praise, Peter Fokos, said,
Satan is our only competition. He's out to seduce the world. He's out to seduce our children.
Just to clarify, Christian businessman Peter Fokos claims he's competing directly with Satan to seduce children.
Yes, that is what he said.
Wow, he really
said the quiet part out loud.
Digital Praise released a number of Christian-themed video games up until they were absorbed by another Christian-themed company, Left Behind Games.
Jesus! Did you rapture everyone except for me? Not cool, man!
Left Behind Games went on to be suspended from trading by the US Securities and Exchange Commission under major fraud allegations.
I think there's a lesser-known commandment about that.
The 11th commandment is, "Thou shalt not set up a second company and buy all your first company's unsaleable product, thereby falsely inflating the first company's revenue by 1,300%.
So in 2011, Left Behind Games, along with Digital Praise, closed down.
I guess they couldn't seduce as many children as Satan.
Of course they couldn't seduce it. Wait, what?
In his blog post titled, Can a Christian Play Video Games? Game designer and Christian Jeff Wooford wrote,
"A game dishonors God when it leads you or others into temptation, sin, or unbelief. A game that features nudity or sexual content obviously offers temptation and promotes sin."
I just wish Jeff would name these games filled with nudity and sexual content. They sound fun.
Wooford has mostly worked on war games throughout his career.
Hang on, wait. This soft-skinned little fuck is pearl-clutching over the moral implications of boobs, but violence is okay.
Well, it's funny you mention that. Wooford answered that dilemma in the same post.
Questions of violence are more subtle. Much, though not all, video game violence is cartoonish, even silly, rather than realistic or believable.
Wofford's doing that thing Christian grifters do. He's not used to speaking to people with triple-digit IQs, so follow-up questions totally fuck him.
My follow-up question is, what if we made sure much, though not all, video game boobs are cartoonish, even silly rather than realistic or believable? Would that then make simulated sex between consenting adults as acceptable to Wofford as violence in his upside-down version of morality?
If you see a boob, you'll never be able to unsee it. Even a cartoon one.
Think of the children!
But cutting off heads is just fine. It's hilarious.
And here's just one more worldview revealing quote from that same post.
A Christian fills his life with games in order to avoid the difficulty of life, and once he has begun, because the games compel him to.
In Wofford's defence, he doesn't know any women because of his innate fear of boobs.
I can't unsee them. I just can't unsee them.
Let's move on to look at some of the restrained, rational, and moderate critiques of the video game industry from
Unhinged Christians.
One-time astronaut and creator of the Ultima series of fantasy games, Richard Garriott received some hate mail stating,
"You are the satanic perverter of America's youth."
So Richard put that on a t-shirt.
I used to play in a band called Satanic Perverter.
What happened?
Another band came along and stole our look, our sound, our songs, our whole deal.
And who was the other band?
The Wiggles.
In 2010, The Bulletin in Philadelphia published a piece
sounding the alarm about the rise in the number of satanically themed video games that target God and Christianity. Invite players to make pacts with the devil and elevate Satan to hero status.
Rest assured, Philadelphia, one thing we'll never do on this podcast is elevate Satan to hero status.
He's not wrong. I get about as much respect around here as TT's.
Hey, they respect me.
Really? Who do they put on the phone when Nana calls?
That's because they know I'm good with her. Isn't it? Hello, Nana.
BibleReasons.com posted this statement about video games.
We need more biblical men in Christianity. We need more men that will go out, preach the gospel, save lives, and die to self. We need more manly young men who will stop wasting their life and do the things that older Christians can't do.
What is it these older Christians need these manly young men to do for them?
Oh, you look like a manly young man.
Excuse me?
Oh, I could think of a thing or two a manly young man like you could do for me.
What?
You couldn't reach up there and grab me a can of beans, could you? I don't know why they put them up so high.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, yeah, reach for those beans, you manly young man. Show favourite Pat Robertson said,
If you murder someone in cyberspace, in a sense, you are performing that act whether you like it or not.
They don't just like it, Pat. They love it.
All right, mate. Hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
What? Why?
I just witnessed you swallow at least 50 pills.
I was just playing Pac-Man.
Author of Frumpy Middle-Aged Mom, Dispatches from the Front Lines of Motherhood, Marla Jo Fisher, posted on the Orange County Register.
I truly believe that video games were created by Satan to turn otherwise normal children into his drooling, glassy-eyed stooges.
Oh, Marla Jo, you're so cute with your ignorance. That's not the purpose of video games. To get an entire nation of drooling, glassy-eyed stooges, I created Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And it worked, Marla Jo. It worked. Wipe the drool off your face and have a look in the mirror.
Now, I thought it might be nice on this show about Satan that we hear from some actual Satanists for a change.
Oh, yay, about time.
Church of Satan.
Oh, those dipwads.
Reverend John H. Shaw has said of Grand Theft Auto,
You get better cars, more money, you're more successful, you buy houses. That's satanic.
Buying a house in this economy? The Church of Satan is so detached from reality, it's impossible to take them seriously.
Reverend Raul Anthony from the Church of Satan said,
Satanists tend to be very competitive and wish to excel at what gives them pleasure and satisfaction. So video games with a rich multiplayer component will attract Satanists.
Remember that, listener? The next time you're gaming, you may be giving massively multiplayer online pleasure and satisfaction to an anonymous Satanist.
Gross.
You should join our Patreon because we've got loads of massively multiplayer online pleasure and satisfaction over there.
Excuse me? What?
Go to patreon.com/Satan is my superhero.
Come for the massively multiplayer. stay for the online pleasure and satisfaction.
Gross.
What can we take away from this little look into Christian video games?
I'm going to leave the last word to our Church of Satan Reverend John H. Shaw.
I love the fact that when you put a pair of pants on in GTA, they fit correctly.
I also love a pair of correctly fitting pants, Reverend John. And that's why Satan is my superhero.
Thank you so much for listening. Rate, review, subscribe, all that podcast stuff. But most of all, please give us money.
Go to patreon.com/Satan is my superhero.
If you join our Patreon at the Third Circle of Hell, you'll receive access to exclusive content like this.
Do you ever worry about the omnipotent creator god of the entire universe being offended by the way we portray demons in the games we make?
No, don't be ridiculous. I am worried about all the aliens that I killed playing Space Invaders as a kid, though.
You just shot us one after another with no mercy, you monster!